Hey everyone, welcome back. Something we hear all the time is, I just don't have enough time to learn English.
Right, like to really become fluent.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but what if I told you that just 20 minutes a day could make a huge difference?
I think a lot of people get overwhelmed thinking they need hours and hours.
Totally.
Yeah.
So today we're going to break down how to make those 20 minutes really count.
And prove that you don't need to totally rearrange your life to see progress.
Okay, so 20 minutes, it still feels kind of short. Where do we even start?
Well, the biggest mistake is going in without a plan.
Just like, okay, 20 minutes English time.
Exactly. It's way more effective to have a clear goal for each 20-minute session.
So instead of study English, it's learn 5 new words or something.
Exactly. Or work on a specific pronunciation problem, or practice listening comprehension. Having that focus makes your practice so much more efficient.
Like you wouldn't go to the gym and just wander around aimlessly.
Exactly. You'd have a workout plan to target specific muscle groups. It's the same with language learning. So pick your focus. What's next?
Consistency is key. If you're only doing short bursts, you got to make them regular.
Like every day at the same time?
Ideally, yeah.
Yeah.
Your brain loves routine. Picking a specific time each day, whether it's first thing in the morning, during your lunch break, or before bed, helps solidify that habit.
It makes sense. Your brain's like, okay, it's English time.
Exactly. It becomes as automatic as brushing your teeth.
Okay, got my focus goal, got my time slot. What do I actually do during those 20 minutes?
Now, this is where it gets fun. We want to use stuff that makes learning feel less like, well, learning.
Ditch the textbook.
Not necessarily, but mix it up. Watch a short English video, listen to a podcast, read a few pages of a book or article.
Things you'd probably do anyway, but in English.
Exactly. You're immersing yourself in the language naturally.
Okay, but what about speaking? I don't always have someone to practice with.
Talk to yourself.
Seriously?
Absolutely. Describe what you're doing, what you're seeing, narrate your life, basically.
That feels a little weird.
It might feel strained at first, but it gets you comfortable forming sentences out loud.
And you can hear how you sound.
Exactly. Record yourself for a couple of minutes and then listen back. You'll quickly spot areas to improve.
Makes sense. What about connecting with other English learners?
Language exchange platforms are great for that.
Oh, yeah, where you can help someone learn your language and they help you with English.
Exactly. Even a quick 10 or 15-minute chat can do wonders for your confidence and fluency.
Okay, so we've got all these activities. How do I squeeze them all into 20 minutes?
Break it down. Think of it like interval training for your brain.
So like 5 minutes of vocabulary, 10 minutes of listening.
And then 5 minutes of speaking practice. You can even combine them, like writing a summary of what you just listened to.
That's a great idea. It keeps things interesting and prevents boredom.
Exactly. And remember, those 20 minutes are your safe space to experiment. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. It's all about progress, not perfection.
I love that. It takes the pressure off. Now, are there any tools that are really helpful for this kind of short practice?
Definitely. Language learning apps like Duolingo or Babbel are amazing for fitting quick lessons into your day.
I've used those. They make learning feel like a game.
Exactly. And then there's flashcards. Digital ones like Anki or Quizlet are great, but even physical ones work.
Good old-fashioned index cards.
Yep. Perfect for reviewing vocabulary on the go. You can use them while waiting in line, commuting, or just whenever you have a few spare minutes.
Okay, flashcards. What else?
Don't underestimate the power of a notebook. Spend a few minutes each day writing down sentences, or even just your thoughts in English.
I feel like my writing always gets rusty.
Well, this is a great way to practice. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just focus on getting your ideas down. And here's a bonus tip. Read what you wrote out loud after you write it. It connects the written word to the spoken word.
Oh, that's smart. So I'm practicing writing and pronunciation at the same time.
Exactly. Now, even outside of those dedicated 20 minutes, there are ways to weave English into your daily life.
Like, how?
Set yourself little challenges. Try to explain something you did that day in English, even if you're just talking to yourself. Describe a picture you see. It gets you thinking in English without even realizing it.
That's a fun idea. I could even get my friends involved, right?
Absolutely. Ask each other questions in English. Try role-playing everyday situations, like ordering food or asking for directions.
That's a good one. It's like practice for real life.
What about using things I already enjoy, like movies or music?
That's a fantastic strategy. Watch movies with English subtitles, then try watching without them. Cook using recipes written in English. Listen to English songs and try to sing along.
That's a way to make learning feel less like a chore.
Exactly. You're learning without even realizing it.
Okay, what about more traditional stuff like reading books? I don't always have time for that. Start small. You don't have to dive into a huge novel. Try children's books, short articles, blog posts about your hobbies. As you get more comfortable, you can gradually increase the difficulty.
So, work my way up to Shakespeare.
Eventually, maybe. But the point is to start with something you enjoy and can easily finish. It builds confidence.
Speaking of writing, we touched on that earlier, but what about if I want to really improve my writing skills?
Keep an English journal.
Like a diary.
Yeah, but you can write about anything. Your thoughts, your day, your goals for the future, or even just a summary of something you read.
And it doesn't have to be perfect.
Not at all. It's just for you. It's all about getting those words flowing and getting comfortable with expressing yourself in writing.
Okay, so we've covered a lot. But what's the real secret to making those 20 minutes count towards fluency?
Consistency, consistency, consistency. It's the most important factor, hands down.
Even if it's just 20 minutes, sticking to it makes a difference.
A huge difference. It's like compound interest. Small, consistent efforts add up over time. And don't be afraid to use a timer. It helps you stay focused and on track.
Okay, so be consistent. Anything else?
Variety. Keep your practice sessions fresh by mixing up the activities. Do a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
Listening, speaking, reading, writing.
Keep your brain guessing.
Exactly. You mentioned repeating phrases before. There's actually a technique called shadowing, which is great for that.
Shadowing? What's that?
Basically, you listen to a native speaker, like from a podcast or video, and try to repeat exactly what they're saying, matching their tone and speed.
Oh, that sounds hard.
It is challenging, but it really helps your pronunciation and makes you sound more natural.
I'll have to try that. What about any other tricks for improving speaking?
Record yourself, even just a minute or two every day.
I hate listening to my own voice.
I know, it can feel awkward, but trust me, it's super helpful. It lets you hear your mistakes and see how you're progressing over time.
Okay, I'll give it a try. Any specific speaking exercises you recommend?
Pick any topic and try to talk about it for a full minute without stopping.
A whole minute.
It might sound easy, but it forces you to think in English and speak more fluently.
No ums or uhs allowed.
Try to minimize them. It helps build confidence and train your brain to organize thoughts in English.
Challenge accepted. Now, we've talked a lot about actively practicing, but isn't it also helpful to just have English playing in the background sometimes?
It can be, but remember that active engagement is key. Don't just passively listen. Repeat phrases you hear, write down new words, or try to summarize what you've listened to.
So really interact with the language, even if it's just for a few minutes at a time.
Exactly. It's like the difference between looking at a gym and actually working out.
Okay, that makes sense. Any other tips for making the most of our practice time?
Don't underestimate the power of repetition. Go back and review material you've already learned. Listen to your favorite podcasts or videos multiple times. Each time you'll pick up something new.
So it's not always about consuming new content, but also solidifying what we already know.
Exactly. It helps embed the language in your brain.
This is all super helpful, but what about staying motivated? It's easy to feel discouraged when you're not seeing big results right away.
Celebrate every victory, no matter how small. Finished a week of practice? Had a conversation in English without panicking? Give yourself a pat on the back.
Like literally pat yourself on the back.
Well, maybe not literally, but acknowledge those wins. It's like building a house brick by brick. Every small step gets you closer to your goal.
I love that analogy. Now, we've talked a lot about those dedicated 20 minutes, but are there other subtle ways to keep English in mind throughout the day?
Oh yeah, tons. Like we said before, try reading out loud. It's a fantastic way to practice pronunciation and get comfortable with the sounds of the language. And don't worry if you don't understand every single word. Focus on grasping the main idea.
That's good advice. I tend to get hung up on individual words sometimes.
And after you read something, try to summarize it in English, even if it's just a few sentences. It helps with comprehension and gets you thinking in English.
Like a little comprehension check? What about podcasts? Are there any tips for making the most of them?
Choose podcasts you actually find interesting. That's key. Then listen actively. Take notes on new phrases or vocabulary and try to use them later on. If a podcast is too fast, start with videos that have subtitles. You can use English subtitles, then try turning them off.
The visuals definitely help. It's like having clues to the meaning. What about flashcards? Any other advice on using those effectively?
Make sure you're reviewing them regularly. Don't just learn new words and then forget about them. Spaced repetition apps can help with this. They remind you to review words right before you're likely to forget them. And try to use those new words in sentences, not just memorize their definitions.
That's key, actually using them. Okay, what about speaking practice when you don't have a partner? We talked about talking to yourself. Is there anything else?
Embrace those solo conversations. It's amazing how much it helps. Describe your day, talk about your plans, even argue with yourself in English.
Have a full-on debate with myself.
It might sound silly, but it gets you thinking and speaking spontaneously.
Okay, I'll try it. And what if I do have friends who are learning English?
Start a study group. Even if it's just online, it's so motivating to learn with others. You can practice together, share resources, and quiz each other.
Makes it more fun and social too?
Definitely. And don't forget about social media.
Can social media really help with English?
Absolutely. Follow English learning accounts, comment on posts in English, even write short captions in English. It's all practice.
It's like sneaking in some learning without even realizing it. So what about grammar? It can be such a huge topic. Where do I even begin?
Focus on what's practical. Don't get lost in the technicalities. Learn the tenses and sentence structures that you use every day. Use them in your speaking and writing until they become second nature.
So prioritize communication over being perfectly grammatically correct.
Especially at first, yes. Fluency is about getting your message across. Accuracy will come with time.
That makes sense. Any other tips for the grammar phobic out there?
Keep writing. The more you write in English, the more natural those grammar rules will start to feel. And remember, your journal is a judgment-free zone. Make mistakes, try new things. It's all part of the learning process.
No red pen in sight. Now, we've talked about active listening before, but can you explain a little more about why it's so important?
Passive listening is like having English playing in the background while you do other things. It can be helpful, but active listening is where the magic happens.
So what does active listening look like?
It means really focusing on the meaning, the pronunciation, the intonation. Pause the audio, rewind if you need to, repeat phrases out loud.
So really engaging with the material. Okay, now I'm curious. When it comes to actually speaking, should I try to speak faster to sound more fluent?
Not necessarily. Focus on clarity first. Speak at a pace you're comfortable with and enunciate clearly. Speed will come naturally as you gain confidence.
So don't worry about sounding like a native speaker right away.
Exactly. It's more important that people understand you. Fluency is a marathon, not a sprint.
Okay, that takes the pressure off. Now, you mentioned role-playing before. Are there any other ways to practice real-life situations?
Try mental rehearsal. Imagine yourself in different scenarios. Ordering food, asking for directions, introducing yourself at a party.
So practice those situations in my head.
Exactly. It might sound strange, but it gets you comfortable with the language and helps you feel more prepared when those situations actually happen. You can even say the words out loud if you're alone.
Like a dress rehearsal for real life? And what about those times when I don't have anyone to practice with? Are there any good online resources?
Tons. YouTube is amazing. You can watch videos with and without subtitles. There are language learning forums where you can connect with other learners, and websites with free exercises and resources.
It's like having a whole world of English at your fingertips. What about idioms and slang? They can be tricky.
They can be. The best way to learn those is to see them used in context.
So not just memorizing a list of phrases.
Exactly. Pay attention to how native speakers use them in movies, TV shows, podcasts, and even real-life conversations, and try to use them yourself. The more you use them, the more natural they'll become.
It's like learning the secret code of the language. And lastly, any final advice for staying motivated on this language learning journey?
Remember to celebrate your achievements, big and small. Every little win is a step towards fluency. Reward yourself for sticking with your practice, for understanding something new, for having a successful conversation. And don't get discouraged by setbacks. Everyone makes mistakes. It's all part of the process.
It's like a video game, level up with each accomplishment.
Exactly. Embrace the journey and have fun with it.
That's such great advice. Okay, so to wrap things up, we've learned that even just 20 minutes of daily practice can make a big difference.
A huge difference. It's all about being consistent, being focused, and using your time wisely.
And don't be afraid to try new things and make mistakes.
Exactly. Learning a language is a journey, not a destination.
So for all of you listening, I challenge you to pick just one or two of the strategies we talked about today and try them out this week. You might be surprised at how quickly you start seeing progress.
And remember, we're here to support you every step of the way. So keep practicing, keep exploring, and keep having fun with English.
Thanks for listening, everyone. We'll see you next time.